little update on the green Gen 1. We are back at it. Brought a couple tools up to the property, and we're gonna go ahead and try to tinker on it a little bit today. Try to clean it up, get all these spider webs out of here. We might try to mess with the turbo a little bit. I'd like to get the truck cranked today if we can. I got some jumper cables. Got the pump over here, which kind of show you guys with one hand, kind of zips on in down here. Got to put the hoses on it. Here's all the hardware. Hopefully we're not missing anything. Like I said, it's been sitting here for a few years. The good news on the truck is Skylar was able to find the keys for it. So we got the keys for it. This was actually going to be the new ignition for the truck, which obviously would go on the steering column right about here. First thing, I think we might go ahead and tackle on putting the pump back on. Probably getting a lot of this pine straw and spider webs out of here. That way it doesn't catch fire. The truck does not currently have a downpipe on it yet, so we are gonna have to look for a downpipe, but it should be good to go just to go ahead and crank it, make sure everything's still going good. But yeah, let's go ahead and start knocking some stuff out. Currently getting the vacuum pump put back on. We got one bolt up top, two on the back side. We actually lost one of the bolts, so we might have to go buy one. There's one in the very back is kind of giving us an issue, so it's kind of being a pain. But I got it on, so I took up the hoses obviously, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the turbo. And we actually just figured out, as I was telling you guys, that back bolt was hard to get to. Skylar's remembered that he cut this hose in order to get to that back bolt, so we actually have to go ahead and grab this clamp off so we can go ahead and get the rest of this hose off. And we should have enough. As you can see, the other one's right here. So we're trying to run another hose we got just from here back to the back side of the power steering pump, and it should work. Oh yeah, she's on there.
You cutting it?
Yeah, it was just stuck on there too.
Where do you cut with? Got a little connect?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Alright, good news, making some progress. We got the 3 bolts after 30 minutes tightened on the vacuum pump. I don't know if this is a diaphragm. Like I said, I've never had a first gen, so you guys can let me know down below. Definitely does something with the vacuum pump. Got the 2 hoses off of the power steering pump, the one that goes down at the bottom. Got those 2 hoses cut off and the clamps broke off. So that's the good news. The bad news is, let me hop down. We were trying to get this door unlocked, and now the key's literally stuck in the door. So we sprayed some WD-40 in there. We're hoping that since this lock has been used in a few years, that the metal is just kind of, you know, not loosened up. So, are you taking the door panel off, trying to get to it?
Getting there, yeah.
I guess he's working on taking the door panel off to try to get the keys. But these are the keys that we just found after 3 years, and now they're stuck in the door. So yeah, door panel is off. And unfortunately can't see too much. You can kind of see the, well, you guys might not be able to, but you can just barely see the cylinder on the back side. So we're gonna see if we can't. I might have just been looking at the wrong one. It's somewhere, and it might be actually down here. It's definitely one of the 2. That one might be the door handle. That one might be the lock cylinder down here. Let's see if we can reach our hand or something and figure something out. Got any good ideas?
I got a light, but that's all I got.
A light and a dream. Just took the side vent off the door. I was mistaken, it was the bottom one. So the up top one was the door handle. The bottom one was the cylinder. He just took off a clip. Where's that clip?
There.
Just took off the clip.
That slides right over top
now
to hold
actually
it.
Get the lock out.
I don't know how.
Oh.
That fell just right.
We're never gonna be able to get that back on right.
Should I hawk to it?
What did they finally find the keys after 3 years just to get them stuck in that door latch? Sounds about right. We did end up getting the key out of the cylinder. Unfortunately, all the springs fell out and kind of had to destroy it in order to get the key out. So just another thing to add to the list that we do have to end up fixing. So as soon as I said in the beginning of the video, you know, luckily we don't replace any cylinders. Now here I am, I guess I jinxed myself, and we gotta replace one. But it isn't that big of a deal that we gotta replace them, because like I said, we do actually have all the new cylinders, but it would kind of been cool to have, you know, the matching set for the ignition and the door lock. So Unfortunately, on the truck now, we're going to have a different set, I guess, for the door and the ignition.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but it is what it is. At least we got the replacement parts. I will say that if there is any bright side to this, was it not one to fit?
It's
you got a little persuaded
right
a little
there,
bit.
yeah.
I will say there's a bright side to this. At least it was on the passenger door and not the driver's side door, because at least the same key will work for the driver door and the ignition. It would be kind of annoying if you had to use a different key for the driver door, then hop in the truck and then use a different key for the ignition. So if there's a bright side, at least it happened on the passenger side. Got the window handle back on, door handle back on. That does kind of feel a little weird, but we'll have to look into that. Door panel's back on, and we got the new lock on, and it opens and closes. It worked that time. Went ahead and got the clamps back on for the turbo. We're probably gonna end up replacing it anyways. Doesn't seem too wrong with it. Like I said, we're missing the downpipe for it, but we're gonna go ahead and just try to get the truck cranked. So all we have left, right, is putting the battery cables on, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously we are still missing. Actually, I don't know. I was saying obviously. I don't know if not sure if I told you guys, but we did cut the hose off. Oh, we gotta put this one back on. We forgot about that one. Going to that vacuum pump.
Oh, yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead and leave the hose off of the power steering pump, because the one that we had is a little bit too dry, which is right here, and we can't really finagle it without it kinking up. So we're just gonna go ahead and leave it off. We're not gonna drive the truck, just try to get it cranked. It might shoot out some fluid if there's even any in there. But yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and try to fire it up. Hasn't been raining in about 3 years, so cross your fingers. Guy was currently working on getting that last hose on. I was just taking a look at the belt. Look at all the spider webs down here.
Do we need a belt? And
the spider that I guess once lived in this truck. You got it on?
No.
Skylar is pulling up the second gen right now. We just got the battery hooked up, and the terminals are kind of loose, but the headlights aren't coming on. But we are getting a few dash lights, so we're thinking that the battery is just running pretty low. So we're going to hook up the second gen and see if we can get enough power to fire this thing. We've been sitting here for about 15 minutes. Tried a couple different ways. Looks like we're not getting any power. We do have a red light on inside the cab, so we know the truck is getting power, but there's nothing. I'll show you guys. There's nothing on the gauges is turning on. None of the lights are coming on, and it's been sitting here charging for at least 15-20 minutes at this point. So I don't know if there's a fuse somewhere. I know some of the fuses are hanging out down here. Kind of looked at them, they look fine. I don't know if there's a fuse somewhere else that I'm missing. I know these 12 valves are pretty simple to work on compared to the newer stuff, but so I must be missing something simple is what I'm getting at, but I'm not sure. But we might have to take that battery off tonight, bring it home, and just throw it on the charger and bring it back in a day or so when we get a chance to come back up here. Which kind of sucks. I was really hoping to get this thing cranked tonight, but this red light over here is giving me false hope, because the truck's definitely getting power. We're just not getting anywhere else. So I'm not sure. Went ahead and turned my truck off, kind of running low on gas. But just want to show you guys, we're definitely getting power to the truck, but we're just not getting enough power to actually crank the truck. I still think some of the needles would come on, or at least a little bit of lights, but it seems like the truck is completely dead besides our trailer lights. So we might have to call it a night. We might have to take this battery out and put it on a trickle charge for a night or two, bring it back up here, and see if we don't have enough cranking amps at that point. But I don't know, I'm pretty much lost. I don't know if there's a main fuse that just goes to the entire truck that's killing it, or maybe it's blown. I'm not entirely sure. But the good news is we do have it back together for the most part, so we actually can get it cranked. So I think we're pretty much going to end it. It's getting kind of late here, but as always, appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any tips or tricks that I might be missing, definitely let me know down below. And yeah, hopefully in the next video we'll get this sucker cranked. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.